All right, guys, welcome back to another video. It's your man Jay. 2,000 miles later, and I've learned a lot. Had this car for maybe a month and a half or so. I don't even know. I know I'm at 2,000 miles, and it's rolling along just as I wanted it to go. There's some things about this car that I think everyone should know before they buy this car. So if you're in the market to pick up an EV for traveling and road trips and all of the above like that, this needs to be at the top of your list. The $25,000 EV that everybody's been promised, well, you have to get it at a discount. You have to get it at a discount like this car, 25 or less. Now, a lot of people paid. I've seen some pricing. I love your pricings that you guys are posting in the video, by the way. I love your pricing that you post. Some people got it for lower than I did. Some people got it at the same price as I did. Some people got it for a little bit higher. But either way, I think this is technically the $25,000 EV that we all wanted a long time ago. For those that are into EVs to daily drive. And obviously you guys know I have a over almost 700 horsepower Corvette, and that's my fun car. I love that car. But to daily drive that, it's not realistic, especially not with the gas prices right now. So I'll talk about a couple things in this video. 2,000 miles, absolutely been beautiful. No issues with the car, nothing, no problems going wrong, everything's still flowing like it's new when I first got it. And obviously I've had it for not 2 months yet, but I'm at 2,000 miles. So let's call it a month and a half. So things can go wrong though. I've had cars that cost way more than this, like 10 times this, or let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to 6 times this car that I have. And I've done several recalls on them. So this is a huge win for me as a good daily driver to replace my Dodge Charger EV. I love that car, but this is way more practical. Practical in the sense that I've loaded up the rear passengers before and the front. We've loaded this car up and taken a quick trip, and it has been phenomenal, man. It was a smooth ride. The range is still the same. No, here's one thing about the range. So a lot of you guys have been telling me about, oh, you're not going to get that in cold weather. Folks, it doesn't matter if it's cold weather or not. I drove this car in a storm, pouring down rain for an hour, and my efficiency dropped dramatically just from the rain and the wind. So it doesn't have to be cold weather because it was warm outside, but in fact, it was so windy and storming so bad, and I was driving 80 miles an hour, and my efficiency dropped to 2 on the freeway. So then when I filled up, it only gave me 262 on, not filled up, but 80%. When I went to 80% on this last charge, I just came back from another trip, and when I went to 80% on this last one in the storm and the rain at 80 miles an hour for more than an hour, folks, my efficiency was 2. So that's the lowest I've seen it. But even when I put it back to 80%, and I drove it all the way down, I drove it back to 80%, it was 262. So it's still a little bit above what the 255 at 80% would be for this car. So I think that's probably going to be my worst case scenario, because down here, it doesn't really get that cold, but it gets cold enough. And for me, it's only for like 1 to 2 months out of the year. So with that said, the efficiency is still great for me, even at that 80% at 262. That's the lowest I've seen it, and I'm still on that 262 right now. Because now I'm around town and my efficiency is going back up. So I'm in the 70s right now, and I still have like almost 250 on the range left. So that's a good thing. I did end up testing it and pushing it in the rain. I could have taken my Jeep, but it was so windy, and I just didn't want to. So I said I'm going to save some fuel. Save some money on fuel, and I'm gonna pull this car out and just take it on this quick trip in the storm. It did really well for what it is. So yeah, that's that. Comfort and everything at this car now at this level. I'm gonna put a lot of miles on this car. I can already tell. I've already been on several trips, and I was talking to someone in the comments section of one of my videos, and he was kind of explaining how he just kind of, when you get a new car, I know you just want to drive it sometimes. But sometimes, just getting out there and getting a feel for your car, you need to do it. You need to do it. So I want to address a couple of things that I kind of talked about in my dislikes video, where you guys were telling me that, there's a way in the settings. Folks, I know that there's a way in the settings. I was just saying by default and by standard, some of these things should be. So I don't like to have all the doors open when I walk up to the car. Because I'm from Jersey originally, and if you've never been to the East Coast, certain parts of the area, you cannot just walk up to your car And even in Jersey, with a nice car like this, you subject to get, you know, jacked. So I don't want all my doors to open, but I think it would be nice though to have a feature to where you can pick a door or something like that. I don't know. But yeah, I know that you can go into the settings. I actually have it turned off by default, but I think it should be able to, you should be able to walk up to any door and just open that door. Maybe I should have explained it that way. Nonetheless, I don't have any problems with the car. I love it after 2,000 miles already. I know it's super comfortable, and it's such a sporty looking car for just to be this entry level car. So I just, and some of you guys are asking me like, who do I watch on? And I just randomly pick people who have the cars I have and see if it's a regular user or a real owner and not like these car channels. So who borrow the cars for 3 to 5 days or 7 days and then give it back. That's not the same to me. So I really still enjoy all the sporty body lines on here. This has got to be the sleekest. I love the rear spoiler. I mean, when you think about this, folks, this is an entry level car. I have the lowest trim of this car, so to speak. And it is so worth it. You got a ton of range, extreme comfort, and it's just been great on the road. I had a question about someone taking it through the car wash. Folks, this car just came from the car wash, meaning the drive-through car wash where I don't get out of the car. Now, I did kind of wipe it down afterwards and, you know, do the tires, but I pay for the tires as well. But yeah, run your car through the car wash, man. Run your car through the car wash if that's what you want to do. It's your money. You use the car, you want to do it. Now, in the last video, I told you guys that I was going to do PPF on the entire front half. Let's back up here. So all of that. So from the mirrors and the entire front half of the car, the front bumper, the side panels right here, the entire hood, this is now all PPF'd. Yeah. Clear PPF all around. And you can't really tell. Let me see if I can find a spot where you might be able to see. There you go. You can see right there that it's actually PPF. I went to the same guy who did my Corvette. Phenomenal job. This entire thing is PPF'd. The entire thing. And when you get a PPF, you just need to wait like 2 to 3 days before you start putting it through the car wash or even washing it. So yeah, all of everything that's gray on here, this metallic gray or whatever, it's all PPF. The black, the dry fake black matte carbon, that's pretty cool, right? For the base entry level. And none of that is PPF, but the entire hood, all of the hood, this panel here, both sides, the mirror, the entire front bumper, all the gray and all that is all PPF. I had told you guys I was gonna get it done, and I just knew that I was gonna love it because he did my other car. And like all of this is PPF. This door is PPF. This just everything forward is PPF'd. Mirrors, all clear PPF. You can kind of see a little bit here. Yeah. This is a major win to get PPF. But find your local shop that you use. Get the front half of your car PPF, and try to get it at a good, search around for the best price. I went to him because I'm a previous customer, and he always gives me, once you build a relationship, you can get good deals. So, and try to deal with the shop owner. Most of the people I know own their own business. So, yeah, he owns the shop, and he also does all the work too. And he has a couple of employees with him, but phenomenal job. PPF clear on the front half of the car, which is what I said I was gonna do. And I think you definitely should do it if you're going to be a person who uses the car like I use it, which is a lot of traveling, a lot of highway miles. It's always dirty. And so on the front half, so I definitely wanted to get it PPF or rock chips and everything beforehand. Now, some cool things about the car is, man, it has like this dry carbon fiber look, this full carbon fiber look. That's actually pretty cool for an entry level car. Now, some things about the car that I think are probably going to improve over time is the range. I think that once I really put this car on a serious trip, like more than 5 hours, I think the most I've been in it now is 2.5. I think it's going to get better. Based on what you guys are telling me in the comment section, I will get up. Do you remember that one car that had 398 or something like that on 100% charge? I think I could do it. I think you can do it. Now, you won't be able to sustain that, obviously. Well, you could if you just only took it around town on short trips and kept the mileage or kept the speed under 55. You would get that all the time, because that's pretty much why I'm able to get 296, 293, or 80%. That's what I'm getting at 8% almost every charge, except for the charge I'm on right now, because I remember I came off that trip in the storm and rain at 80 miles an hour and heavy winds. Efficiency dropped to 2. full 100, or excuse me, 80% charge was 262, but that's still good. But I think this car will improve on range around town, because the highest I've seen, I think, was what, and I did another video, was it 5.5 or something like that, 5.6? I don't even know, but that's considered excellent. Anything over 4, you're doing good. And right now, I'm back to getting my 4.5, 5 miles per kilowatt hour. That's phenomenal range. Folks, this is the win. This is that $25,000 EV that we all wanted. You just have to get it at a discounted price. That's the thing. So that's an update for you. Full PPF on the front half of the car, 2,000 miles, loving it, just incredible. I highly recommend. You know, I want to talk about one other thing. Now, this is just something that I notice when I see people who have this car. People are saying that the dash is highly reflective inside the car to the driver. Folks, I live in a state where it is sunny and 100 degrees almost all the time, or just really sunny all the time. I don't have any glare on my dash, so I'm not buying a dash mat. Some people have asked me, why don't you have a dash mat? Well, I live in Texas, and it is sunny all the time down here. It is super sunny, and I don't need a dash mat. That's just me. I don't think the glare is enough, and I don't really see a glare. Now, maybe it's for the higher trim models, but I have this basic black plastic dash on mine, so I don't see an issue. Anyway, it's your man Jay. I'm gonna get out of here. 2,000 miles. I've had the car PPF now since we talked in that last video. So it's been on here for a minute. It's been on here for at least a week, I'll say. Yeah, I'm pretty excited and ecstatic about this car. Super happy that I went with this instead of any other EVs that I was thinking about. This range on this thing and this comfort, and it's just top tier, top tier. So Equinox owners, rejoice. If you have one of these cars, do you take it on long trips yet? Do you take it on extended road trips? Have you done that? Let me know how your range was and how your full fill-ups were and your 80% was. I think this car is going to do great, and I think it's going to be a great car to take on a long road trip. I will be doing an extended road trip, and while I won't document that because it's personal, the trip itself, maybe I'll talk about it after I take the trip and I'm back home, and I'll document the numbers. Anyways, your man Jay, hope you guys enjoyed. 2026 Chevy Equinox LT1 has turned out to be an amazing purchase. And remember, I got mine for $22,000. Ooh, can't beat that deal.